Okay, so we are 10 this afternoon. So I guess we only have two meetings for the discussion. So the next discussion will be on the triangles, and the next one will be spherical triangle. So I am expecting next week we can all get on board, all of you, to discuss the spherical triangle. So this topic is very important for you and a bit complex. So I am requiring all of the students to attend the virtual class as I discuss the spherical triangle uh, topics. That will be next week. So this time, this is just a review of the last time that we have discussed, and we are going to solve additional sample problems before we are going to have our long examination on this topic. Okay, so I have seen your the Google Classroom, so no one had um, submitted the learning test assessment yet. So I am expecting tonight or maybe tomorrow you can submit na the the before the long examination. Okay, so for the preparation, so I am hoping for the full cooperation of everybody as we discuss this lesson. I hope my audio is clear. Am I clear to you? Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So kung may problema, kung di rin namumubuan na akong slide or na-o-offer na akong mic, pwede na ako ikutan na akong attention, just open your mic. Okay? So we shall start. Okay, so this is again the second lecture for the law of sine and the cosine, and also included some of the review of the sum of the product of the difference of the trigo function that we have discussed last time. So as a review, we discussed this the sum and the difference of the trigonometric function. We have the sine, the cosine, and the tangent. So I did not show the formula for the tangent last time. So here it is. We have the tangent x plus y. So if this x plus y over there, so the formula will be tangent x plus tangent y over 1 minus tangent x times tangent y. But if it's in difference between x and your y, and you just change the upper, tangent x minus tangent y over 1 plus tangent x times tangent y. Okay. So last time, we also have this one. So I hope you already seen the video that I have posted last time on the discussion, if ever you did not attend the classes. We have sine A cosine B. So this is the half angle formula. And this is the product formulas for the trigonometric function. So the product of two trigo function, for example, sine A times cosine B. So this is equivalent to 1/2 times sine A plus the amount or the value of A and B plus sine A, the amount of the difference between A and B. So we have also cosine A times sine B. So just change the sign here. So this is 1/2 sine A plus B minus sine A minus B. So we have, if similar cosine, two values, we have cosine A times cosine B. This is 1/2 cosine A plus B plus cosine A minus B. So if this is both cosine, so this is also cosine and plus. So for the sine, so opposite to that one, so this positive one magiging negative. This is negative 1/2 cosine A plus B. So kung cosine, that is plus, but is the product of two sine, that is minus here. So cosine A plus B minus cosine A minus B. So this is the product of the trigo function. So I also introduced you some of the half angle identities and double angle identities. For the half angle, you have here cosine A over 2 plus minus, since this is quadratic, so we came up with the two answers. So that's why this is a positive and negative. Square root of 1 cosine A over 2. We have sine A over 2 is equals to plus minus 1 minus cosine A over So just familiarize with the formula para madali lang mag-solve. Okay, so we have also introduced you double angle identities. We have cosine 2a is equals to cosine squared a minus sine squared a. We have the cosine 2a, 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Yes? Kindly open your mic. May nag-open.
Ma'am, nag-freeze yung screen.
Okay. This ini, nag-move na.
Walay
Nag,
pag-gap, ma'am.
ano na nga slide? This one?
Ano na, ma'am.
Ini nga slide. Are we on here?
Ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So we are on the half angle and the double angle, I mean. So we have here cosine 2a. So this is 2, including 2 angle. So cosine squared a minus sine squared a. So another formula for the cosine 2a is 1 minus 2 sine squared a. It's just similar to cosine squared a minus sine squared a. So for this sine, the formula for the double angle for this sine, we have 2 sine a cosine a. It's just totally different from the formula for the cosine. Oh, okay, so this is the topic that we focus on this meeting, and the last time we have the law of cosine and for the law of sine. So for the have the sine rule, so we have the sine of a. So a here, so the a here is capital A is the included angle opposite to line A. So we have sine a over a, small letter a, that is the side opposite to angle A. It's equivalent to sine b. So this is in a relationship. You can use either of the formula. We have sine b, where capital B is the angle measured at point B, or the included angle at point B. And small letter b here is the opposite to the angle, included angle B. And it is also equal to sine C, where capital C again is the included angle at point C. Then small letter c is opposite to that angle, included angle C. Okay, so for the law of cosine, we also discussed this one. We have the formula for c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. So for the c squared, so for this formula, I hope my presentation is not on freeze. Law of cosine. I'm on this slide of the law of cosine. This is c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c, where this capital letter C is opposite to the unknown here, which is this side of small letter c. And then A is the adjacent side to C, and B is another adjacent side to C. So if this is C, small letter c, opposite to that is this one. So this is cosine C, and this is the b squared and the a squared. So similarly, we have, if we are looking for the length of A, so a squared is equal to, we have c squared plus b squared minus 2cb cosine of a. Another formula, if we're looking for b, so for b, that is equal to b squared is equals to a squared plus c squared minus, that is minus 2ac cosine of b. So we have three formulas for that. Okay. So for the law of tangent, we have also, you can either memorize this law of tangent, or you can just apply the law of cosine and the law of sine, and then you can came up with the same answer. So no need to memorize the law of tangent. So the most important one is the law of sine and the law of cosine. So supposed to be, we will be having a breakout session. So for the breakout session, you will be given, supposed to be, you will be groups, and then we are only 13 this afternoon. They want to have a breakout session. where you will be grouped accordingly, or igsosolve na lang naton diretso ang problem as a class? Ano man? I have only here 3 problems. Okay, let's start with question number 1. Kanay, read up on that. So for this question, so yeah, I guess you are 11. So let's have, for this problem, let's have Dublin, Marilia, and Munghe in Eval. Again, take note, we have Dublin, Marilia, Munghe, and Eval. So don't worry, you will be given additional points for this one. Just try to solve the problem. We have here Dublin again, Marilia, Monghe, and Eval. So you can use the chat box to discuss this problem, or you can solve each one of you and then discuss your final answer if you have the same answer. Again, for you take a screenshot of the problem. We have Alea Joyce Dublin, we have Daniel Marilia, we have Monghe, and Eval. Dublin is raising her hand. Yes, Miss Dublin?
Napindot lang, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, you are going to solve problem number 1. Can you try to solve this problem?
Yes, ma'am.
You take a screenshot muna so that I can proceed to the next group.
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, so let's proceed to another group. We have here Monghe Eval is done. We have Solidor, Malut, Blauta, Arca, and Incarnado. Okay. Somebody can open his or her mic for the instruction. Um, can you open your mic, Solidor? Okay, take a screenshot for this problem and we are going to solve this one after 5 minutes. Solidor, Malut, Malut, can you open your mic, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Take a screenshot of this problem and you discussed it with your classmates. You can use the chat box for
Yes.
the discussion, and you can either open your mic. You can open your mic if you want to talk to your group mates. So you have 5 minutes to answer.
Sige po, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So this is problem number 2. So you only have 2 minutes for the group of Dublin. Just tell me if you are done. So an observer found the angle of elevation. So medyo madali lang. At the top of the tree is 27 degree. So after moving 10 meter closer to the tree on the same vertical and horizontal plane as the tree, so the angle of elevation becomes 54 degrees. So you are going to find the height of that tree. Hmm. So while you are answering, let me check the attendance. We have Dublin, Marilia, we have Monghe, Eva, Solidor, Malot, we have Blauta, Arica, and Poland. Okay, Dublin, Marilia, Monghe, and Ibal. Do you have the answer?
Not yet, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. How about the other group? Lulu, you already have the answer?
Wala pa po, ma'am.
We have now the answer for problem number 1.
Wala pa, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, to save time, group 1, can you solve the problem together with me? So I am going to show my screen for the solution, and I'm going to ask your help for the computation since I don't have a calculator. Okay? So do you have a calculator with you? Para mas madali kitang
Yes, ma'am.
i-process. Okay. Group 1, kindly turn on your mic. Okay, nakikita na? Contained?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read the question, please, Miss Duplin? Again?
An observer found the angle of elevation of the top of the tree to be 27 degrees. After moving 10 meters closer on the same vertical and horizontal plane as the tree, the angle of elevation becomes 54 degrees. Find the height of the tree.
Okay, so we are going to find the height of the tree. So what we have that there is, so let's just have the illustration. So there is a tree, there is a, so it says that nasa isang plane lang, no? Nasa plane lang yung observer at sa yung tree. So if this is the tree, so this one. So at a certain point here, so let's just, this is point A. Yung top ng tree from point A, so meron siyang observer. So this is equivalent to, what is this angle? This is equivalent,
27 degrees,
this
ma'am.
is 57 degrees. And then after he walked sometime for 10 meters, so from A, let's just say this is point B, right? So since moving closer to the tree for 10 meters, so this is just equivalent to 10 meters. So is this correct? Sakto ba? So the distance from
Yes,
A
ma'am.
to B is 10 meters. So from point B, the observer looked up to the same point at the top of the tree, and this become, magkano to? So this is equivalent to
27 degrees.
this angle here,
54 degrees.
4 degrees. Now we are required to compute the height of the tree, right? So how are we going to compute the height of the tree? So if this is so this is a triangle, right? But not a right triangle. So what we have here, we have 54 degrees and 27 degrees. Can we use sine? Ano nyo
No,
galing?
ma'am.
Sine, cosine.
Tan-
For the cosine, we only have one angle and a distance, so we are not allowed. But we can solve the angle, right? Can we solve the angle? Can we solve this angle here? Let's say this is theta. Can we solve this angle, theta? Nasolve na yun angle, kini nga angle nga di.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is this angle theta? This is equivalent to, so let's solve theta first. Solve for theta. So theta is just the difference between, what is this? This is equivalent to 100. This is equivalent to
80.
180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus this 54 degrees is equivalent to our theta. So theta is just equal to 180 degrees minus 54 degrees. Okay, so 180 degrees minus 54, that is equivalent to
126.
126 degrees. Okay, so we have two angles and one side. Can we now solve the height of the tree? Mm-hmm. If theta is 126 and this is 27, what is the value of this angle here? Let's say that is beta. Can we solve beta? How are we going to solve beta? That
127
is,
degrees, ma'am.
so beta is equal to 180 degrees, di ba? Minus
Mm-mm.
27 degree minus 126 degrees. So what's the answer?
Negative 27 degrees, ma'am.
27
7.
degrees. Okay. It's para safe kita, do not use sine since yung angle natin is lesser than 30 degrees. So it would be better if you are going to use cosine. So let's say this is h. So how are we going to determine the value of h? So we need two sides, right? Pero wala kita two sides, so we have only three angles. We can determine the length of this one, A to C. We can determine the length of this side by using sine, right? We have sine of 100. What is theta? Sine of theta over distance AC. You can use sine of beta over AB, right? Pwede?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is sine theta? So the sine theta, since theta is 126 degree over what is AC. So we don't know AC yet. So that is we're going to solve for AC. Then sine beta. So what is beta? 27, right? And
27, I think.
AB is 10 meters. So therefore, we have AC is equals to sine 126 degree times 10 meters over sine 27. So AC is equal to, can you solve AC now? AC is equal to sine 126 times 10 over sine 27. So what's the answer? Pera.
17.82, ma'am.
We have here, we have the same answer. So we have 17.82 meters. So that is AC. So we can solve now H, right? So distance here, this is 17.82. I-check natin mamaya sa sign kung if we came up with the same answer. Okay, so let's find h. So h squared is equal to, we have 17.82 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 17.82 times 10, di ba? Times cosine, what is the angle? Cosine, what would be the angle? Cosine, what is opposite to h?
27.
Is 27 degree. So h is equal to, let's solve h squared. So just give me the value of the number. We have 17.82 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 10 times 17.82 cosine of 27 degrees. So let check if our answer is the same. 99.97.
19,
So take the square root.
19.6.
H is equal to, what is the value of H?
9.999888.
9.99. So because the
Yes,
square
ma'am.
root of 100 is 10. So H is equals to 9.99. So this is the value if we are using the cosine. How about if directly na nato gamiton ang sine? So kung magamit ka diretsuhin sine, that is sine 27 degree over 10 meter, right? 10 meter is equals to um, sine 27 degree over h. So what is the value of h? 10. Sakto ba? 10. So this is sine 27 times 10 over sine 27. Then you cancel out 27. Then the remaining h is equals to 10. 10. So if you look at the answer, may konting difference yung sine and cosine. But to be safe, you can use cosine, especially if you are dealing with angle less than 30 degrees. But you can use sine just to check if your answer is correct. Okay? Do we have the same answer? Group 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is in meters. Okay, how about group 2 now? You take the screenshot of this problem. Delete ko after. How about group 2? You have now the answer. So while waiting for group 2, let's have this problem. Monghe, can you read the problem first? Nakita?
Dere, ma'am.
Anay. Can you read this problem? Anay, si share screen ko. Ay, sorry. So, group 2, kindly finalize your answer na. So, Monghe, can you read the question?
From the third floor window of the building, the angle of depression of an object on the ground is 35 to 58 to 00, while from the sixth floor window, 9.75 above the first point of observation, the angle of depression is 58, 35, and 00. How
Mm-mm.
far is the object from the building?
Okay. First thing first is you picture out the situation. So, from the third floor, merong building, meron siyang third floor. And then, yung observer on the third floor, may nakita siyang object on the ground. So, yung angle of depression niya, pagkakita niya sa object sa ground is 35 degrees, 58 minutes. And then, may another observer which is located on the sixth floor. So, nasa iba, taas siya. So, yung distance from third floor to the sixth floor is 9.75. Then, yung tao sa sixth floor, yung angle of depression naman niya dun sa object sa ground is 58 degrees, 35 minutes. Now, the question is, how far is the object from the building? So, I want you to draw an illustration of this problem and show your illustration. Group 1, since Group 2 are still answering for their problem, just draw. Yes? May nag-raise ng hand. Do you have an illustration? Kindly show it to the class. Eval, they have now the illustration.
Maray pa, ma'am.
Marilia, do you have now the illustration for this problem? Dublin, are you raising your hand? Do you have now the illustration?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can share your screen.
Wait lang, ma'am. Pwede mag-open mic na lang, ma'am, kay 7 paper ko gain drawing.
Okay.
Open ka.
Okay. Dublin. The problem,
Yes, sir.
thank you. The problem is, can you read again the problem? Is angle of depression. So, ang tao, madto hiya ha building mismo. And maging kita hiya nga object ngadto ha ground. So, this 3558
Okay, ma'am.
is angle of depression. So, not the angle of elevation. Okay. May share lang ako ah. So, eyes here muna everyone. So, for example, so the angle, the definition of the angle of elevation, again, so just to review everybody. So, the angle of elevation, if this is the plane, I'm sorry. So, if this is the plane, the horizontal plane, so your horizontal, so the angle of elevation is from this point here up, that is the angle of elevation, right? And then if this is the horizontal, and this is the horizontal, and then the angle of depression is measured. So this is the observer's eye. The angle of depression is the angle coming from the horizontal, then counterclockwise. So this is the elevation, and this is depression, right? So this is angle of depression, and this is angle of elevation. So on this situation, we have, let's say this is the building. So let's draw a so this is the plane. So let's say this is the object. So let's say this is a ball, and then this is the third floor. So this is the third floor of the building, and this one here is the sixth floor. Okay, right? So this one is the sixth floor. So on the third floor, yung angle ng depression, so let's say this is the projected horizontal distance or horizontal line ng observer. So this is 38 degrees, 58. So this is the depression, angle of depression from the third floor, right? So this is 35 degrees, 58 minutes. Since this is the horizontal. So for the sixth floor, so let's say this is the projected horizontal distance o yung horizontal distance ng mata ng observer doon sa sixth floor. Then from this point here, from the horizontal line, counterclockwise, diba? This is now the 58 degrees, 35 minutes na or angle of depression. So this is now, I'm not sure kung magiging straight ini. Okay, yan. So this is 58 degrees and 35 minutes. So the distance between the sixth floor to the third floor is 9.75 meters. Okay, so the problem is how far is this? Let's say this is X. How far is the object to the building? Okay, so what are those numbers that we can compute on this illustration? So if this is 58, so if this angle here is 58.35, then this one is, or let's say this is theta. So we can solve for theta. So how can we solve theta? That is equal to, how can we solve theta? Anybody? How can we solve theta? Lival, how are we going to solve theta in this illustration? Yes, Encarnado, how can we solve theta?
A minus 90 degree, ma'am.
Yes, that is. So we assume yung drawing ko hindi masyadong straight. Since building siya, so that is vertical. So that is 90 degrees minus 58 degrees 35 seconds. So theta is equivalent to, can you check to your calculator please? That is 90 minus 58,
31 degree 25 minutes.
31 degrees 25
minutes.
25 minutes. So that is our theta. And then can we solve now this the same angle here?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say that is beta. So beta is the same process, that is 90 degrees minus 35 degrees 58 minutes. So what's the answer? Beta is
54 degrees
54 degrees
and 2 minutes.
and 2 minutes. Okay. So now we have now the angle theta and we have now x, right? Ano pa natin pwede makuha to get the value of x? What else? How can we solve the value of x? Pwede ta tigud-tigud-diun anay? Right? Since this is a building, what is the value of the angle in the bottom of the building?
90.
So this one here is equivalent to 90 degrees, right? So if that is a 90, and theta is equivalent to 31 degrees 25, right? And then, can we solve the value of this angle here? Damo aton pwede masolve ano? Kung if gusto natin i-chop-chop natin mga value. So what is the value of the angle here? This is, so let's say this is phi.
Bali 58 degrees, ma'am. Ay, 31, mali pala.
What is phi? So yung phi is i-minus lang natin dito sa 90, di ba? 90 and yung ating theta. Since naka-right triangle to. Yun. This is right triangle. So this is our phi. This is 90 degrees. And this one is our theta, which is equivalent to 31 degrees, 25 minutes. So yung phi natin, we can solve B by 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 31 degrees, 25 minutes. Then what is the value of phi? That is 90 minus 31, 25. $58, 35.
35 minutes.
So this is 58 degrees and 35 minutes. So this is 58 degrees and 35 minutes. So using this, then we can compute the value of this whole length ng from 6th floor to the ground floor, right? Pwede natin siya ma-solve. So let's say this is h. So based on the angles that we solved, can you now solve the value of x? Can we solve the value of x, please? And then this is also equivalent to 90 degrees. Then solve the value of x. Ano pang angle ang pwede natin ma-determine? Pwede gihap kita mag-determine the angle here. Diba? So what is the angle? This one. So let's say this is angles, so let's say this is alpha. So how can we solve alpha? So alpha, we can use theta and this 35, 58, this triangle, right? So we can use this triangle. So this is 9.75. This one is theta. This one is alpha. And this is 90 degrees plus 35, 58 degrees. So we can solve alpha by 180 degrees minus theta. We have theta minus 90 degrees plus 35 degrees, 58 minutes. So we can solve alpha. What is the value of alpha? That is 180 degrees minus 31 degrees, 25 minutes minus 90 plus 35 degrees and 58 minutes. So we can solve alpha. That is alpha is equals to 22 degrees, 37 minutes. So this angle here is equals to 22 degrees, 27 minutes. Can we solve now? May pwede na ba kita i-solve the distance? So by using this triangle, we have here, so this is alpha, this is our theta, and this is equivalent to 90 plus 90 degrees plus ano to? 90 degrees plus 35 degrees 58 minutes. And the length of this line is 9.75 degrees. When we determine now the length of this side, so we can determine the length of this line here. Let's say this is line Y. So using sine, we have sine of 90 degrees plus 35 degrees 58 minutes over y. When we use sine law, we have 9.75 over sine alpha. Then y, use your calculator. What is the value of y? That is equivalent to sine 90 degrees plus 35 degrees 58 minutes times baliktad. This is supposed to be 9 9.75 sine alpha. This is sine alpha over 9.75. So this is 9.75 sine excuse me, sine alpha. What is the value of sine? Oh, y. What is the value of y? That equals to sine 90 plus 35 degrees. What's the answer? The minutes times 9.75 over sine alpha. Alpha is 22 degrees 37 minutes.
20.51.
20.5199.
Pira?
Pira ni Malia?
20.5199.
20?
0.51999.
20.51? Sakto?
999.
So, that is 20.52. Sakto?
Opo.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
that is
Opo, nung niya po.
20.52. So, if we go back to our illustration here at the top, so this y here is actually this line. Ini nga line, diba? This is y which is equals to 20.52. 2. So, anong pwede na relationship natin gamiton to get the value of x? We use this triangle, right? Inihiya nga triangle, ini nga right triangle. So, let's draw another. So, if this is the 6th building, so if this is the 6th floor, right? And then this is the object. This is the ground floor. And this is the length that we are going to solve. And then from the 6th floor to the object, what is the length of this one? This is 20.52 meters. And then we already know that this angle here, what is the value of this angle? This is 58 degrees 35 minutes. And this is 90 degrees. And this theta here, is this theta? Balik natin illustration. Theta. Okay, that is theta. Theta is equal to, we have also 58 degrees 35 minutes. This is a special angle. So, solve for x. What is the value of x? Kindly solve. Madali na lang. So, based on this illustration, you can now directly solve the value of x. You can either use sine law or you can use the Pythagorean theorem. So, what's the answer? What's the value of x? Arka, can you open your mic? You have now the answer. Arka, what is the value of x? So, pwede nang hindi gumamit ng law of cosine and law of sine. So, pwede nang cosine na lang or sine or pwede ring tangent. So, ano yung value ng x?
10.7.
10.7. Can you show your solution, Miss Dublin? And then discuss.
Sure.
Stop po ano. Sige, pwede na.
I use cosine ng cos 58 degrees, 35 minutes times 20.52 kay I cosine kay equals 58 over 15.
So, adjacent over hypotenuse, and then
So, substitute lang ang value sa angle. So, cosine 58 degrees 35 minutes times 3.52, 10.696 or 10.7.
okay, very good. So you have here 10 point. So let's just check the solution of Dublin. So we can use cosine here since adjacent, meron tayong adjacent which is the value of x. So we use cosine of 58 degree 35 minutes is equivalent to, which is the adjacent which is equivalent to x, and the hypotenuse is 20.52. And then you multiply this to then the value of your x is equivalent to, that is cosine 58 degree 35 minutes times 20.50. So that is 10.60 or 10.7. So this is 10.7 meters. So this is now the height of, or the distance between the object to the building. Okay, thank you. How about group 2? Are you now done? Group 2, Encarnado, you have now the answer for problem number 2.
Ma'am, 58.33 meters.
Can you show your solution, please?
Wait lang po, ma'am. Yan. Ito po yung illustration ko.
Mm-hmm.
Bale, 106 nilabas ko lang. So, 90 plus 16 degree.
Mm-mm.
Tapos yung solution, A over sin A equals B over sin B. So, sin 61, sin 13, A, cancel. That's 15 times yung sin nung 61, 0.8746 over sin 13, 0.2249. So, A is equals to 58.33 meters po.
Pwede makita yung illustration. Sandali lang ha. That is 61. Tapos 90 plus 16. That is, mamaya. Ano? Saglit na saglit. That is 106. So, 180 minus 61 minus 106. What is the remaining angle on angle C? Saglit lang
Ano po?
ha. That is 100, check ko lang. 180 minus 106 minus 61. 13. 13 yun, di ba? Yung angle C. 13 degrees. So, 13 yan o 130? 13. Yung angle C. Dun sa taas. Oh, yan. That is 100. Naka-mute ka, naka-mute.
13 degrees po, sorry.
Okay. So, okay. Very good. That's 13. So, yung ginawa mo, yung A, yung opposite ng A is 61, tapos,
Yung B,
yung B,
ano ba tong given? Basahin ko lang po.
mm-mm.
Ayun, yung shadow, yung small, yung C pala, yung shadow, yung small letter C.
Mm-mm.
So,
Ano
tas
yung required? Yung length ba ng shadow o yung length ng pole?
oo nga,
Oo.
Ay, bali, hanapin ko yung
Length
line
ng,
ng,
oo. Length ng pole.
sige po.
Mm. Sisend natin sa group chat yung problem ng group 2.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, Arca, you have now the answer.
yung answer ko is 54.23, ma'am.
Yung length na mismo ng pole,
Yes, ma'am.
pwede pa so yung solution. Yung kanina tama na yung 13 sa itaas, then 90 plus 16, that's 106 on the ground. So, pwede mo i-share yung solution. Paki-discuss na lang from the beginning yung illustration hanggang doon para masundan.
Ma'am, ito po yung ginawa ko.
Sige. Ano? Pwede pa rotate yung camera. Yon. Okay.
Ano ito yung
Copy.
illustration, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Yung C, ma'am, is 14 degrees, ma'am, yung akin. Tapos, yung A naman,
Paano yan
105.
naging 14 yung C?
Ma'am, di ba 15 yung given, ma'am? Tapos, minus ko po ng 1, naging 14, ma'am, sa itaas kasi nag-incline siya, ma'am. Tapos, yung 90 degrees, inad ko po, ma'am, sa 15, kaya naging 105. Tapos, 61, ma'am, yung angle B. Tapos nag-sign law ako, ma'am. Tapos, 15 times 10 degrees. Sign 61. Kinaltek ko na lang, ma'am, para kunin, ma'am. Shift solve.
Then?
Yung lumabas, ma'am, is 54.229644673. Renound off ko naman, ma'am, naging 54.23, ma'am. Yung length ng hole, ma'am.
Record lang natin ha, that is 54. Yung kanina is may konting difference ng answer yung pero malapit na. Yun lang yung 104, yung yung problema dun sa angle. Dapat 90 plus 15.
Kaya pala, ma'am, naging 14. 180 minus 105 plus 61, ma'am, is equal to 14, ma'am, yung ginawa ko.
Yun. So, 180, yung 180 mo, minus 61, minus 90, minus 15 pa. (61) minus 90 minus 15. That's 14. Okay, so pang 14, tapos sign, you can directly go. So what's the answer? That's 50. What's the final answer? 54. 50 point. Arca?
Sa akin, ma'am, 54.23, ma'am.
15. So that is 61 degrees. Tas yung length ng pole. So this is the shadow is 15. Asan ba yung cast ng shadow sa illustration mo? Nasa ground o yung hypotenuse?
Ma'am, nasa ground, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So that is 15. So cosine, you use sine x over, diba? Over 61, tapos 15 times yung 14. Naka-share screen ba ako? Wala. Yun. So that's 15 over sine 114 is equivalent to b over sine 61. Then b is the length of your pole. Okay, thank you, Mr. Arca. So that is the last problem that we have here. Okay, before we end, since you have a class online quiz. You have an online quiz at 4. Am I right? Or for the whole class ba yun? You have math in the modern world? Or isang
Yes,
student
ma'am.
lang? You have a class on math in the modern world at 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Quiz po.
Okay, so I can, pwede na kayo mag-out. But before that, before we proceed to the spherical triangle, that will be on next week, right? Or this Wednesday. So I'm going to post this, isi-share screen ko muna. Cancel. I have here prepared this is the last one before we proceed to this spherical triangle. So this is all about the area, computing the area of the triangle, and you already know this one. And then the points of the frequency of a triangle, we have the computing the area, determining the median of the triangle, the altitudes of the triangle, and so on. Since we don't have time, I'm going to give you the recording of this lecture. Since on Wednesday, we're going to start discussing the spherical triangle. Okay, so since it's already 10:39, 3:39, I mean. So thank you for coming this afternoon. So we'll be meeting on Wednesday, the same time. It's 2 to 4 or 3 to 4. So this afternoon, igahatag ko ang presentation and kanina, the problem, in this, the other PowerPoint presentation for the computing the area of a triangle. Okay, so do you have any question before we end? Any question from the class before I end this meeting?
Okay, ma'am. Salamat po.
Thank you for coming this afternoon. Please inform your classmates that they should view or access the recording of this meeting. So it will be available this evening on the YouTube. Okay, and will be posted in the Google Classroom. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
See you on Wednesday.
Thank you po.
Thank you.